Welcome back to the final episode of the Hearthstone Report. Not forever, but for this specific expansion, we have all the final cards being revealed. Mass drop, of course, like 50 plus cards in one sitting. This is always the most stressful episode every time. So we're going to go through all of them, and we're going to give our opinions on it, and we're going to give a quick outlook on the new expansion. But let's not lose too much time. This is going to be a long one as it is. Let's look at these cards and see what we have.
Yeah, so we're going to do this a little differently this time because I want to try this out. Okay, cool. So, first of all, there has been the patch for the expansion. Mm-hmm. It's very basic. It's, as always, just all the new cards were added to the game. Yeah. Not very surprising in
new
itself.
Board, by the way, is pretty cool.
The new board, which I've also already played
really cool.
on. They're once again reiterating that you're going to get a legendary login bonus, which is to say you're getting one of the quests. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to know which one I get.
Yeah. I think I want Priest, maybe? Seems funny at least. But we'll see. We'll reveal that on Tuesday.
So yeah, then there is some more Tavern Brawls leading up to the single player content, which, based on this, I assume is called the Tombs of Terror.
Yeah.
And that's going to come out in September.
It's going to be the 5th or 6th reiteration of the Dungeon Run concept again.
I would assume it works very similar to the Dollar Run Heist.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, also works like the Dungeon Run. Yeah. The question is, in that case, are we going to have something akin to Bob again?
Maybe we'll have Bob.
The one real change that we had is the change to Crystal Core, where they basically just updated a lot of the rules of how exactly it works and like in which order stuff is applied.
One of the more problematic cards in the history of Hearthstone.
I mean, right now it's not as impactful anyways. It's not in Standard at all, and I think in Wild's not played that much.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter hugely, but it was.
You gotta keep stuff consistent, and that's a bit of a difficulty always when you introduce new cards, and you have those, I want to say, volatile cards like Crystal Core, or like the Rogue Quest, the Caverns Below. You always have to figure out how stuff interacts, and like cards like Shutterwalk too. So
yeah, but you know why they changed it, right?
Yeah,
these are the new Warlock Legendary.
Yeah, exactly.
That does the same thing. So they thought about the concept again, and then to have it consistent, they did it the way they wanted for the new card, and then just adjusted the old card to work accordingly. Yeah. Which I don't complain about. It's just a fact. Arena rotation.
Yes, this one we
talked about this,
and we like this a lot. What we said.
Yeah, we like it, and also Triple Elise, League of Explorers, Ungoro, which is one of my favorite expansions of all time, and the Saviors of Uldum, which features Elise number 3. Yes, this is gonna be interesting. Also, that is probably the best opportunity for a quick reminder to start an arena run before the expansion drops.
Pro tip. Listen. Pro tip. Important. Do it again. This needs more attention. This is not a small thing. This is a pro tip.
Whenever a new expansion launches, and also thanks to the arena rotation, the 2 months in between, whenever the arena rotation changes, you wanna, right before it does, start an arena run, get it to 2 losses, which is not to say just concede twice.
No,
it's like play until you have 2 losses. And then instead of finishing the run, you just let it sit. When it rotates, you're getting all the rewards that you would have gotten if you ended the run right there. And you're getting a free arena ticket.
Free ticket.
Which means even if you don't play arena, you only have to pay, in theory, once, but even I think you get a ticket when you start anyways. And you just can do it on the ticket over and over again. Yeah. This effectively costs you nothing. And you're getting an extra pack and a little bit of golden dust at least every rotation. Every 2 months.
Yeah. Pro tip. Always do that.
So yeah.
Very important.
Quick reminder to do that.
Good point.
They're adding card packs as with every update.
Year of the Raven one looks sick though. Edgar Allan Poe all the way. It's like
I like the Year of the Raven one. I'm not sure if I like that they're putting 2 heads on it, but you know.
Would have preferred if the League of Explorers would feature a hammer and a sickle instead of, that one hammer and a pickaxe, but that's cool. And
I actually like the League of Explorers one, and then, Sea of Dunes, I'm not a big fan.
It's
not bad.
It's kind of suspicious. I don't know.
I don't think it's bad, it's just
okay.
It's one of the weaker ones.
I definitely like Year of the Raven, that looks really
It's not as bad as, like, Cupcake or Christmas or anything like that.
Christmas is terrible. But
I like Overwatch.
Yeah. I really like Raven that much.
And then there is a bunch of minor fixes and improvements.
Yeah, we're not going to go through
none
all
of which
them.
are very
important. I just want to point out one thing that I thought was interesting. It's not very important, but it just is interesting. Is fix an issue which would cause the client to freeze if you completed a friendly challenge, deleted your friend, re-added them, and then challenged them again.
How does this bug even come up? Like, how does this even...
That's why I wanted to point it out. Like,
did they...
This is fascinating that someone found this in the first place.
This is crazy.
This is such an edge case. Yeah. And as a computer scientist and programmer, this stuff, man.
How does this happen?
This is why stuff has like continuous support and stuff like that, because this can happen.
No, it's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, someone found that out.
This was probably a thing for the entire time that Hearthstone was out. And probably. Now, the first time this incredibly weird and unlikely scenario actually happened. And then they tried to recreate it, and it happened again, and then they notified Blizzard.
Yeah,
there was one instance probably. It's crazy, but okay.
I just love that on a conceptual level. It's not at all important.
No,
it's
fun though. That's okay. Fair enough.
We also have, I believe, 57 cards to go through.
Yeah,
so
we have a lot of cards.
We're doing it like this time. Tell us if you prefer the full screen with a card in between.
We've done both.
Indifferent, Let
us know which one you prefer.
Yeah,
with this one, you get the full view with all the details. With the other ones, you get a bigger view of our faces. Which one do you prefer?
Well, I mean, you're still
pretty much a landslide to me, but let us know.
You're getting the full card either way, but yeah.
Flame Ward, 3 mana, mage spell. It's a secret, by the way. After a minion attacks your hero, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. This is the kind of card that would, with like sufficient play and support, get me to quit the game for 3 months. Because you already have the secret interaction there. You have the guy with the battle cry, deal 2 to all enemy minions.
Yes.
This is an insane secret. This is really, really strong. This is almost a flame strike for 3 mana. This is much better than Vaporize.
The thing here is you have to play around in the exact same way as Vaporize.
Yeah.
So as opposed to the new Hunter secret, at least you don't have to worry about anything new in that regard.
I think this compares best to Explosive Trap probably.
Strength-wise,
it's probably better than Explosive Trap.
Yeah, probably. I mean, at least against aggro.
Yeah, very, very good card there. Sayamat is a new... Oh, this is one of the highest praised ones, by the way. A new neutral legendary, 7 mana, 6/6 elemental. With Battlecry, gain 2 of Rush, Taunt, Divine Shield, or Wind Fury. And you can pick which ones you want.
I feel like most of the time when you play it, you probably want Rush, Wind Fury. But,
or Rush Divine Shield, maybe.
Rush Wind Fury against aggro, Rush Divine Shield against, like, controller combo, and maybe Divine Shield Taunt if you want to control, but there's nothing on the board.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it is very flexible and useful. It's just that some combinations seem clearly stronger than others.
Yeah, if you drop it on the board with nothing else, you probably go Wind Fury Divine Shield or Wind Fury Taunt. Probably Wind Fury Divine Shield, actually. So this is going to be a good arena card. Like a really good arena card.
Yes.
And it's versatile. We'll see if someone runs it constructed. I'm not sure, but it has its upsides.
I mean, it's an elemental. We're getting more and more elementals. So if they're starting to have more elemental synergies again, I could really see this be a thing. Also, elemental synergies in arena.
Yeah.
With this...
It's real.
This has a lot of elementals, and so does Angoro. So that's another point.
That is a good point. Saketh Sapper, 4 mana, 4/4, rogue, minion death rattle, return a random enemy minion to your opponent's hands, or the pirate. It's sap as a death rattle.
Yes.
And seems pretty good. If it was a battle card, this would be crazy overpowered.
Obviously.
But as a death rattle, I think it's fine. It's still very powerful as an effect.
Yeah, and also Rogue has death rattle synergies to some degree, which makes it a little more interesting, and also pirate synergies. Yes. So this is definitely an interesting card.
Yeah, it's probably gonna end up being abused by tempo again, like every Rogue card, but we'll see. King Pharaohs. 10 mana, 5/5, Battlecry. For each spell you hand, summon a random minion of the same cost. Oh boy.
This seems like a worse Dragon Caller Alana.
Is it worse than Dragon Caller?
Because by the time you play it, you might not have that many spells on your hand.
But you might.
I mean, if you do have something like the classic Big Spell Mage, because there's a lot of big spells, you end up not being able to play them all.
This thing fills your board for 10 mana, which is really good. Better than Onyxia does it for sure. And compared to Dragon Caller, Dragon Caller had
summoned 5/5s was a 3/3. It summoned them for every spell you had cast that was 5 or more.
Had a condition there that It's very similar.
I guess actually, in the classic Big Spell Mage, you'd probably run this over Dragon Caller if you had to pick one. You'll probably end up running both, but if you had to pick one, you'd probably run this, because sometimes I struggled with just not having had played enough spells by the time I drew a Dragon Caller, and they just collect in your hand.
Exactly.
So if Big Spell Mage becomes a thing, this is going to be a key card.
This looks really interesting, for sure. Very powerful impact. Card 2 Defender, 6 mana, 3/4, with Taunt, Reborn, and Death Rattle restored 3 health to your hero. This is a very good control card, I think.
Comparison would be Applebaum, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so. And this seems maybe slightly better, because it has Reborn, and it heals you 6, essentially.
It effectively has 1 less attack, but it's also harder to kill in one go, and it heals you by 1 more, it costs 1 more.
It heals you by 2 more. Doesn't Applebaum restore 4?
Is it? I thought it was 5, but it might be 4.
I think Applebaum restores 4.
So
no guarantees, but I think that's
the point is that this is actually very comparable in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and seems like a decent card. Applebaum has seen play, and maybe this will too if the right deck comes around. Wretched Reclaimer, 3 mana, 3/3 for the priest with Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion, then return it to life with full health. Oh boy! When I first saw this minion, I had some ideas.
Well, the first thing I thought was that we've seen this effect before, but yes.
Yeah, this Death Rattle ideas for sure, and it's on a decently statted minion too. You're not giving up too much if you don't have.
How does it interact with Reborn?
I'm not sure actually.
Because that would be interesting.
They probably summon the Reborn minion and the whole minion again.
Yeah, so that would be interesting for sure.
That's what I would assume, so that seems like a very good
and
idea.
And there have been some Reborn Death Rattles now, so
Value
that's
machine.
an idea.
Value machine for 3. In Priest, I mean, God knows Priest can use some good cards, and I think this is probably justified.
Yeah, I think this is pretty decent.
Yeah. Wrapped Golem, 7 mana, 7/5 neutral minion. Reborn, at the end of a turn, summon a 1/1 Scarab with a taunt. This is probably pretty good in Arena. The Scarabs are beasts, like all Scarabs are, basically.
Yeah.
Decent in Arena, probably not going to be special in Constructed. It's just, like, the effect itself is too weak, and the ceiling of this card is very blatantly and rather low, to be honest.
I don't think it's great. It is very interesting for sure.
And activate the obelisk. Okay, this is the priest quest, and this is one of the bigger ones that people are talking about. Restore 15 health, which, by the way, that's a breeze. That's not a lot to Druid.
Yeah, that's
I knew like that. That's not a lot, not a work for priests to do. So, the hero power that you get though restores 3 health. If you target a minion, it also gives +3/+3, and that's the big part of it. Not the 3 health. The +3/+3, like.
But to be fair, on a heavily damaged minion, this is basically +3/+6.
Yes.
So yeah,
that's a really strong hero power. So control priest, oof, yeah, heal priest, maybe value oriented reborn sort of priest.
I mean, it definitely works really well with reborn since they always end up on 1 health,
and they're
but not 1 max.
No,
health.
they can be healed up. So that reborn is generally a mechanic that fits priest very well.
Yeah.
So this one goes with it, and this is a good idea. I mean, I'm hoping that I get this as my free one. This is one of the ones that I want to be able to try it out.
Also, this works really well with the previously discussed taunt minion with Reborn.
Yes. Bizarre Burglary is the rogue quest, and it says add 4 cards from other classes to your hand. Again, that's pretty easy. And
it's really easy.
Yeah, it's really easy. Hero power is equip a 3/2 blade with immune while attacking, so it just upgrades your hero power. This is even better than the Odd Rogue hero power. This is a 3/2 now, and your hero's immune while attacking, which
is the important part actually.
I think that's a slight bonus. I'm not even sure. And in Odd Rogue, it didn't matter if you took 2 damage here and there. I think.
Well, yeah, but this is not meant to be used in an aggressive deck, is the thing.
No, it could be.
I mean, yes,
it will be.
Fair enough. This has uses in both types. But in a slower deck, if you wanted, for example, to run tests, which still isn't that great, but normally a big problem with tests is also that those decks had a tough time surviving to the point where you could play her.
Yeah.
With this dagger,
here's the thing with Rogue, though.
You don't take nearly as much damage.
Here's the thing with Rogue. Speak after me, right? Any Rogue card will either be abused by aggro or fall out of favor and never see play. 2 options. And this one's going to be abused by aggro, because for the very simple fact that it's a 3/2 weapon every other turn for 2 mana. It's better than Odd Rogue. And the quest can be done by like turn 5, which is not a lot. So you run stuff like Blink Foxes anyway, right? And
you can if you want to finish this quest on turn 2.
Yeah, you could.
No, wait, no, you can't.
Could you not? But you can finish it early.
You can finish it by turn 3. Turn 2 doesn't work because you can't play anything that generates 2 cards on one alongside the quest.
This is just complete tempo. This is aggro all over it. That's what it's going to be used for.
But it can be used in a Thief Rogue, and as Kibble already pointed out on the reveal stream, as opposed to card that reminds me that I forget at the moment what is it, the scimitar thing that you normally get. The
dagger?
The lifesteal one for Thief Rogue.
Oh,
yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. Haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, because the problem is that that's very unreliable. It can be destroyed with weapon removal. You have to buff it to make it really work, and this it just works. So
yes. It's very reliable.
If there's ever a time to play Thief Rogue, and I'm not saying there necessarily is, but if there is, that is probably now.
It's gonna be Tempo Rogue with a couple of steel packages packed in. That's what it's gonna be. Penance, 2 mana pre-spell, lifesteal, deal 3 to a minion. I think this is okay.
They stole the card from Warlock.
They still looking for Warlock? Was that the exact card?
Drained Soul.
Is it the exact card?
I think so.
I think it makes sense in Priest.
Yeah.
Might not be as good as it is in Warlock, but it's still fine. And it restores health, which goes with the quest, and it makes sense. It's generally a decent card.
Yeah.
Holy Ripple, also a pre-spell for 2 mana. Deal 1 damage to all enemies, restore 1 health to all friendly characters. Now here's the thing, right? You're gonna see them here and there rebuild or reuse old cards, right?
This is Holy Nova.
This is Holy Nova, but 1 less. It costs less than half, and it does exactly half the effect. It's probably a bit weaker, but it's still okay. This is still decent control tool. It's Holy Nova, don't get me wrong.
The thing with board clears is that there's a huge difference between 1 damage and 2 damage.
Yeah.
But in a deck that goes wide and has a lot of trading, like a Tempo Priest maybe, that could also easily run the quest.
Yeah. I think
all of a sudden you're getting potentially up to 8 points of your quest, like for 2 mana.
Exactly. I think the better comparison due to cost and power impact is actually Arcane Explosion.
Yes.
It's Holy Nova. But
that's true.
It
still compares favorably.
Yeah, it's definitely inspired by Holy Nova, no doubt. Sinister Deal is a 1 mana Warlock spell that just says Discover Lackey. This seems like a pretty good card. I think this is like the sort of the very under the radar, like Secret Plan used to be when what put Secret Hunter over the top among other.
Yeah, this is okay. We talked last time we did a report. We talked about the idea of a Lackey Zoolock.
Yeah,
and this is the card that makes it from this could be a good thing to
reliable.
This is very reliable and good
because you get to pick your Lackey out of 3 possible lackeys, which means that you can avoid Titanic Lackey, which is the one you might not want, which is the
here's the thing.
One.
You can half the time get Titanic Lackey if you want it against an aggro deck, and get the aggressive ones against non-aggro decks.
Exactly.
Almost always.
The key point is to discover. If this said add a random Lackey to your hand, this would just not be good.
0 mana add a random Lackey to your hand
will be good. It will be very good. But...
And that's the thing, right? Lackeys are worth more than 1 mana.
Yeah.
The cards themselves. They cost 1.
I would argue Lackey is worth around 2 to 2.5 mana.
I wouldn't go quite as far, but I would say it's maybe like 1.7-ish.
It's probably 2.
But
you look at Faceless Lackey, someone's a 2-drop and it's a 1-drop.
Yeah, but then on top of that, just the fact that you can pick it means that paying 2 mana for an almost basically picked Lackey is totally worth it.
Seems very good. Injured Tol'vir, 2 mana, 2/6 with Taunt and Battlecry. Deal 3 damage to this minion. Obvious comparison, I believe, is Corn Sentry.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was summon 3/1/1, so it ended up being a 2/3 under regular circumstances as well. This is, for all intents and purposes, a 2/3 with Taunt, which is fine. And in Priest, maybe it works favorably with, for example, the upgraded hero power worked perfectly with that. You restore to 3, and put 3/3 on top.
That's also the thing about the Priest quest, right? This is one of those cards that works both with the condition of the quest and with the reward.
And the requirement. So, pretty good. Beaming Sidekick, 1 mana, 1/2 Battlecry, give a friendly minion +2 health.
This sounds familiar.
This is a very good arena card, first and foremost.
And this is somewhat similar to Titanic Lackey.
Yeah, that too. But
This is a really good arena card. I'm not sure if it's gonna be in constructed actually. The thing is, like, this is one of the questions where it's like, is there a spot for it? And if there is, it might just be in some kind of aggro deck again.
Yeah.
But I think in comparison to this, even though it's not very similar in terms of mechanics itself, is Boisterous Bard, which Odd Paladin used to include just for a while when Odd Paladin was so prevalent that like every other match was a mirror, and that was one of the cards that would win that for you.
Mm-hmm. That's a thing exactly. I think this is like a tempo/aggro card.
Aggro support.
Against aggro.
Yeah, for mirror specifically.
Mm-hmm.
In arena, it's very good. Sandhoof Water Bearer, not bearer. 5 mana, 5/5 for priest. Sandhoof Water. I like that name. At the end of your turn, restore 5 health to a damaged friendly character. Quest.
This is Mini Reggie Lightlord.
Yeah, it's Mini Reggie Lightlord. This is quest too. Stick this for 3 rounds and you got quest done.
Yeah, no. This can target anything that is damaged.
Yeah, if you heal fully.
I was about to say, most of the time you won't actually heal 5 with it, but as a control tool, really strong when you don't have that many damaged minions, very reliably healing face, by a lot every turn. And then on top of that, also finishing your quest.
We can see a direction for priest, so that's at least something. Temple Berserker, 2 mana, 1/2 with Reborn, and +2 attack while damaged.
Enrage is another mechanic that works really well with Reborn.
Yeah, because this means that it's coming back as a 3/1 after it dies.
Yes!
Immediately.
I like this a lot as an idea. I don't think the card itself is that strong.
That's fine.
But I like it a lot just conceptually.
Probably a decent arena card.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Serpent Egg, another egg. 2 mana, 0/3 obviously. Death Rattle summon a 3/4 Sea Serpent, which I'm assuming is a beast.
I can look that up, and it is in fact a beast.
This is not quite Devil's Sword Egg. I think Devil's Sword Egg was better.
Yes.
It's comparing. It's supposed to be compared to the Scarab Egg, right? The one that summons. Is it Scarab Egg? The summons 3/1.
0/2 summons 3/1. Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be compared to.
I mean, you're getting a 3-drop at a delay for 2 mana.
It's the yearly egg.
Without a strategy around it, without like an egg deck or something, is not worth it. But
we'll see. It looks okay.
It's okay, yeah.
Neferset Thrasher, 3 mana, 4/5 for Warlock. Whenever this attacks, deal 3 damage to a hero. That's a lot.
Aggressive deck, I might not absolutely hate it, but you do kill yourself fast.
Yeah, you kill yourself fast. It's a Yeti for 1 mana less, but you
again, you have a few synergies here and there with taking damage.
Yeah.
It's not great, it's not horrible, it's okay.
We'll see if someone can make it happen. Bug Collector, 2 mana, 2/1. With Battlecry, summon a 1/1 Locust with Rush. That's a beast.
Yeah.
And,
also, Blizzard, there's a link missing there. Well, the hover over for what a Locust is.
Yeah, there's a link missing. Is this just pretty much a better Henchman Hogsteed? Well, this doesn't have Rush, so that balances out. The Hogsteed used to have Rush. It would summon as a Death Rattle. Yeah. It's very similar, for sure. I'm trying
to... It's similar. It's not quite as strong for killing things, but it does have better tempo.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to figure out which of those 2 cards actually ends up prevailing.
This one is better with the Hunter Quest.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, just with it being a beast is... Well, I guess Hogseed itself is a beast.
Candle Taker, which is a kobold mummy, by the way. 3 mana, 3/2 with Reborn. Good.
Yeah, decent.
Alright. Seems fine. Not much to say.
Good in arena, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, this
Zephrys the Great. 2 mana, 3/2 Battlecry, legend, by the way. If your deck has no duplicates, wish for the perfect card. This is cool.
This is going to be in so many highlights.
And wishing for the perfect card means that you get to discover a card, and the cards that you get suggested are basically optimized for the play situation that you're in. This is really funny. So basically, they analyze the board state, the state of the game, and they suggest to you 3 cards that are very good for you at that stage.
The question always is, how well will this actually work? Like the algorithm just for which cards you get, how well will this work in execution?
And also, can you abuse it somehow? Is there some scenario that you can reliably set up to get one specific card every time?
This is definitely an interesting card.
Yeah.
It has... The only downside it has is the no duplicates clause, which is a major downside. Yeah. But the thing is, if you're running a deck with any of the explorers in it that already needs that condition anyways, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't include Zephrys.
So, very high potential card. Looking forward to seeing this in action. But
I don't think it justifies a single deck on its own.
No. Worthy Expedition, 1-mana druid spell, discover a choose one card. Seems okay. Goes with the quest. This could have been 0 mana, I think.
Yeah, this is one of those where also because choose one cards are very varied, it's not very reliable. Is the problem.
Yeah, you get to discover, which is okay.
Yeah.
If you're doing choose one very heavily, then this might be fine.
Yeah, I mean with the quest and with Fandral, well in Wild and then
Keeper Saladris.
Yeah, Saladris in Standard.
Ancient Mysteries, 2-mana mage spell, draw a secret from your deck. It costs 0. Why do they have to keep doing this to me?
Yeah, I mean this seems really strong.
This is incredibly strong, and it shouldn't be that strong.
I mean, effectively, you're getting one of your secrets reduced by 1 in cost.
Mm-hmm. And you're drawing a card.
Well, that is basically what the draw is. Yeah. The one thing is that you thin out your deck while doing it.
Better than Arcane Keysmith, arguably.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good.
It's... Man, I don't know. We're gonna at some point have to make a very much PSA sort of statement from me explaining exactly why I don't like the secret mechanic in general. That's a big part of actually why I don't like the class of mage much. But that's how it is. So let's not get into that too much. 5-mana 3/3 Oasis Surger with Rush, and choose one game +2/2, or summon a copy of this minion. This is a good card.
This is a really good card.
I like this card.
So first of all, you get a 5/5 Rush or 2 3/3 rushes, which means that you can get up to 6/6 in stats just by default, which is pretty good for 5 mana. They have Rush, as I said, which means that they trade really favorably a lot of times.
And you can even pick the way to trade them.
Yeah.
If you got a 5/5 to take out, you got a big Darius Crowley sitting, you want to take that out, or you got 2 smaller.
Against a 5/5 it doesn't matter. But against 2 smaller things it matters, or against like a 4/5, for example, it matters a lot.
Yeah.
So this is already pretty strong.
Yes.
But then take into account the choose one synergies.
Right.
Like the quest. And all of a sudden you get 2 5/5s with Rush for 5?
Seems pretty good.
What actual fuck?
Yeah, it seems pretty damn strong. So this is very much a deck enabling card, and I think this is going to see much experimentation and play. Crystal Merchant, a 2-mana 1/3, also for Druid. If you have any unspent mana at the end of turn, draw a card. Goes with the quest.
Yeah, goes with the quest.
Just goes with the quest.
Somewhat reasonably statted. Yeah. Actually, relatively reasonably statted.
Okay. If you can get 1 draw off this, it's good. If you get more than 1 draw off, it's really, really good.
Yeah, and because it's very defensively statted, you're more likely to get multiple draws off of it. Because if you actually get to play it on 3, I suppose, then it might stick around for a turn or 2.
So that's one thing, though. It's not much better than Acolyte of Pain. It's a little bit better. And the one thing that a lot of people overlook is that you don't just drop it on 2 and draw a card. Because you don't outspend mana, obviously. You have to play it on 3. Like Acolyte of Pain. It's still a bit better of a card than the Acolyte of Pain.
Coin it on 2?
Yeah, coin is at that point, it's just 0 mana draw a card.
Which is okay. Decent,
it's fine if you want to use your coin for that, but play this on 3.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably not the best use for a coin.
You draw a card, one card guaranteed. It's comparative to Acolyte of Pain.
Yeah, and again, it's really strong in the quest deck, I think.
Dune Sculptor, 3-mana 3/3 for mage. After you cast a spell, add a random mage minion to your hand.
Mage minions are very varying in strength.
Yes,
I said a lot about that.
Mage minions are very dubious.
You don't want Arcanosaurs, is the thing.
No, you don't. But there's other stuff that's really good. You got the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. This is once again very unreliable, but you do like spells and mage. You don't hate having card advantage ever.
Yeah. I can see this being, again, Ren and Tempo Mage, for sure.
Yeah, and it's reasonably statted.
Nothing else but Tempo Mage.
Yeah, because it's a good tempo card.
Golden Scarab, a 3-mana 2/2 Battlecry Discover 4-cost card. Idea, obviously, to set you up before a curve. I haven't quite figured out how good this actually is in Arena, but you at least get a 4-drop, which is potentially pretty good. If this isn't constructed, is it an aggro tending or a control tending card?
Probably in a value-oriented mid-range-ish deck, I suppose.
Maybe. You're giving up some stats on turn 3. 2/2 is not very good for discovering a card.
Obviously, the comparison is Jewel Scarab.
Yeah, it seems still, though, very mediocre for what it actually does.
I mean, they literally boosted every number by 1 and then just called it a new card.
Exactly. But
well,
it's I mentioned that some of these cards are inspired by
yeah, I mean, it's... Hey,
we have more of those coming up, by the way.
You have made this game for 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot of cards aren't even playable in standard anymore.
This whole year they're basically just recycling old expansions, but that's fine. I mean, it's still cool.
It's a lot of cool ways also on how they're doing it.
Yep. Unseal the Vault is the Hunter quest. Summon 20 minions.
That's a lot.
And the reward is a hero power, give you minions +2 attack.
That's also a lot.
That's a lot.
So, this quest is the most comparable to the old quests.
Yes.
Because it takes a lot more to finish this than any other quest that we get in this expansion, I believe.
Yeah.
But it also has arguably the single strongest reward.
It's a very good reward. And there's combo ideas for sure. You got your Unleash hero power, Pixie hero power. You got all those dogs with 5 attack and they're chargers. Not necessarily terrible.
Unleash the Hounds is such a great card with this quest.
Unleash the Hounds is a phenomenal card.
Any card that summons a lot of minions on the board is really good with this because, once again, as I said with the Priest quest where it also works, it synergizes with both the actual quest requirement and the reward.
Yeah.
Because if you go wide, you get the quest done faster.
Mm-hmm.
If you go wide, the quest hero power is better. I could literally see a turn where you play Unleash, finish the quest, and then hero power right after.
Power right over the top of it, yeah.
Like, this is great.
That seems like a very good card.
I'm not sure how good you can build around this, is the thing.
It's worthy of experimentation.
This is definitely a deck-defining card.
Yeah, summoning 20 minions is a lot, but you have cards that can do that.
Like, you're not gonna include the quest in, like the Rogue quest, where it's like, include this in a deck,
you'll probably
add a few burgle cards, and it works.
You'll probably include Boommaster Flark, just on account he summons 4 dudes.
Huh, maybe. But yeah,
but you got your Spring Paws anyway, your Unleash Hounds, obviously.
Halazi the Lynx. This is definitely a build-around card.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily an issue. As a matter of fact, that means that we're going to have a new deck archetype, which is always nice.
Yeah, worthy of experimentation and potentially very good.
Again, it's hard to judge how good the deck will be without having ever seen anything like it, really.
Yeah.
It is worth noting, I think it's clear for most people, but I'm just going to point out, it just says give your minions +2 attack.
It
does not say this turn.
Perpetually.
That means that as long as you have at least 1 minion on the board, it's basically worth it. Well, at least at 2 minutes, it's definitely always worth it to just press.
It's really good. Ancestral Guardian for the Paladin, 4 mana, 4/2 with Lifesteal and Reborn. Now this kind of goes against the grain of what Paladin has mostly been designed to do in this expansion, which is aggro Murlocs and potential quest. This seems like more of a control-ish sort of idea, but this goes straight into the Thekel/Travala deck.
I was about to say, we did get some control cards for Paladin. Paladin, I think, is one of the classes in this expansion that got like the most scattershot type of cards, where they got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Rather than some other classes which got, like, this is the deck we want you to play this expansion kind of thing.
Paladin and Priest are the 2 classes that haven't seen much of any play whatsoever last expansion. And they're getting versatile options, which I very much like the approach. This has been one of the better card reveals or set reveals pre-launch, obviously, that I've seen so far. So I kind of like where they're going here.
Yeah, and this is an interesting card. I don't think it's particularly strong, but it's also not bad.
It has a potential.
And this is probably decent in Arena.
Yeah. Subdue, a 2 mana spell, set a minion's attack and health to 1. It's okay. I mean, it's polymorph for cheaper.
No. It's
Similar.
Worse polymorph.
It's worse polymorph because of Death Rattles and
Death
and
Rattles,
Reborn.
passive effects, Reborn.
But it's 2 mana cheaper than polymorph.
Yeah, no, it's definitely.
I still like it. I still like it better than polymorph for the cost.
This works very well against control-ish decks that have like large minions, and especially against stuff like, I'm just gonna call it out once again, the Combo Priest. I know it's not gonna be specifically for that, and we're not gonna see a lot of Combo Priest, but something like that buffs the health over a few turns maybe to then pull off that thing and all of a sudden it's a 1/1.
But big things in general.
Yeah.
It's a 1/1. It trades with your hero power dudes, so it works fine.
Yeah, this is the one comparison also where it loses out a little bit on Polymorph, where it doesn't trade as directly as Polymorph, but yeah, it's fine.
Octo, sorry, 8 mana, 8/8. Legend, Beast, Death Rattle, draw 8 cards. 8 cards.
Yeah, so...
That's a lot of cards. This card could take Arena by storm.
This is one of those where once you're top decking, this is a really great card.
Oh, boy.
Like, all of a sudden you have a full hand again. I mean, that's really why certain other cards were really strong before. Anything that draws you a lot of cards. It's also not that understated. No. The problem is it's hard to drop it in a slower deck just like on 8 when you just still have a lot of cards on your hand because then you start burning.
Is there some sort of mill idea for your opponent though? Is it like treasury ideas?
Probably not.
I want to see someone try it out. I'm not going to do it myself, but I want to see someone do it. And if they do it, please send me video evidence and tell me how it works.
There's definitely something that's worth trying out in a meme wild deck kind of way, but not something that anyone can pull reliably.
This one in Arena seems like a big fish or a squid. 6 mana, Hunter spell, Swarm of Locusts. Summon 7 1/1 Locusts with Rush. Speaking of quest and hero power, right?
Yeah.
Boy, of course compares to Unleash the Hounds without
worse than Unleash for the hero power, win the game strategy type
Can't
of idea.
go face, but again, this is a pretty good card too, I think. In this deck, it goes right in there. It has to go in there.
The original idea for Unleash the Hounds, obviously, for the most part, was to trade the Hounds.
Push. With the hero power, it's push. With the new
but originally,
yes, originally was trading,
and because back then Rush didn't exist, so that's otherwise they would probably have Rush if this card was designed today. Now here's the thing: this more reliably gets you a lot of minions, but it also costs more, and at least for certain strategies, you can't go face.
Yeah, but this is really good with quest, man.
Yeah, and again,
this has to go in there. This has to go in there exactly.
So yeah, this is. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying. It has a lot of ups and downs.
I like this card. It seems pretty strong.
But again, especially for finishing the quest, this is way more reliable than Unleash.
Yeah. Good things never come in swarms. 3 mana, 1/1 Desert Hare, a beast with Battlecry summon 2 1/1 Desert Hares.
Very noteworthy, in this expansion, every neutral card that summons copies is worded in a way where it says summon and then the card name.
Not a copy of this minion, because that's what Serenite Chain Gang did, and Serenite Chain Gang, when Shutterwalk came out, heads were rolling. So they're going to extreme lengths to avoid that from happening.
Meanwhile, the class card that had the effect got to say copy because it's not a shaman card, so it works.
Exactly.
I just find that very interesting.
It's very obvious why they're doing it.
Yeah, no,
it makes sense.
But
I like the way that Serenite Chain Gang Shutterwalk deck worked back then. It wasn't even like, it was never like 60% win rate, super crazy insanity deck. It was fun, and I have my very specific opinions on how they should have handled that differently
before as well.
But that's the most important thing to point out about this one.
Also, this works well with the Hunter quest.
Yeah.
It's also a beast, which works well with Hunter in general, so yeah.
Seems fine.
Decent card.
Yep. Clever Disguise, a 2 mana rogue spell, add 2 random spells to your hand from another class. Yeah, quest.
And if you want to build like a dedicated Burgle deck, there's definitely
two of this. See, the thing is, I can see it before my eyes. It's such an aggro deck. This on 2 and on 3 got the quest going, hero power, bang, 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 and you get random spells from other classes, which is potentially always also aggro possibilities.
That's where the whole triple pyroblast strategy comes into play.
Yeah, exactly. This is such an aggro card. You don't think so, but it's rogue, so it's
on the reveal stream. Kibler actually got 2 pyroblasts from playing this card twice.
Dude, if that happens to me once,
he won with double pyroblast.
I'm gonna quit the game until Saviors of Egypt rotates out of standard. It's insanity. Shaman Legendary Vicina, 4 mana 2/6. While you're overloaded, your other minions have +2 attack.
Kind of a passive Savage Roar Bloodlust-ish idea. the stats for the card itself aren't horrible. You probably want to play this and an Overload card on the same turn.
Yeah.
Which is okay because Overload cards tend to be cheap.
But then again, do you rather want to play Bloodlust maybe? If you say you play this in like an aggro Murloc sort of deck and
you're not playing this in an aggro deck probably, is the thing. Well, you might be playing this on top of...
I'm pretty sure you do play this in an aggro.
You don't play this instead of Bloodlust, you might play this on top of Bloodlust.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
You could, there's maybe some ideas with like Voltaic Burst kind of thing where they trade very nicely, but this is not a control card. This might be more of a mid-range-ish card, which is still counterintuitive for Overload.
Could be a value card. It's probably going to be tried out and used, an app used as mostly an aggro card.
Yeah, of course.
Mogu Flesh Shaper. 7 mana, 3/4 Shaman minion with Rush, and it costs 1 less for each minion on the battlefield.
Compares to Sea Giant, it is 3 mana cheaper, it has 5/4 less in stats, and Rush.
Yeah. Seems fine, I think. Depending on how many minions there are, if there's like a control shaman thing going on, this might not be terrible at all.
This is an anti-aggro card. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. If you have a control shaman, this is good. Otherwise, no. You're not going to play this I don't think you're going to play this in an aggro deck because you go wide yourself.
Going down 3 mana and less, this is good value.
So, I mean, you might actually play it in an aggro deck now I think about it. Because in like a Murloc deck, for example, if you have the space in the deck to put it, you easily can have 6 minions on board and just have a 1 mana 3/4.
I'm not sure if you might want to play it over Walking Fountain, actually. I don't know. Because when you get that high on the curve, you don't really care about mana reduction that much anyway in those aggro decks. We'll see. But there's ideas for this.
I mean, the idea is you have like a 6 white board on like turn 3 or 4 somewhat easily, so I don't know.
Sandstorm Elemental, 2 mana, 2/2 for Shaman. Battlecry, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions, Overload 1. Arcane Explosion as a Battlecry with Overload 1 seems okay. I think this is also an anti-aggro tool for the most part. Maybe it is going to be used in a more aggressive sort of deck idea with...
It does have the Overload synergies, for sure.
It does the Overload, and it does have Tempo Swing.
And I'm going to once again point out how many elementals they're adding. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is going somewhere.
This is also just a tornado.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they're adding more and more elementals, and to the degree that they're doing it, especially also with like Arcane Servant and specifically pointing out there's ideas maybe.
Oh yeah.
I think there's going to be some more elemental synergies in the near future. Mm-hmm. If not this year, as in with the 3rd expansion of the Year of the Dragon, then definitely next year.
Well, we know we're going back to Blackrock Mountain in the 3rd expansion anyway, so there's going to be a bunch of...
Do we know that?
No, we don't, but I alleged that now because it just made sense to me. 3 mana, 3/3 Mischief Maker with Battlecry. Swap the top cards of your deck with your opponents.
Gnome-Ferrato-ish idea where it's like the very soft combo disruption. It also works in the Stealing Rogue idea with the synergies of having or playing cards from the opponent's class. Yeah. Not with the quest itself, though.
Exactly. I think this could also be seen in a bunch of control decks. Maybe Warrior will bring it in just for some cheapos. Like you play your Boom or you already have drawn your Lysiana and you try to remove it from your opponent or something.
The thing is, after Lysiana, maybe, but otherwise the problem with control decks is that they're probably giving up a more valuable card.
Maybe.
They're giving up a very impactful card for a less impactful card against a faster deck usually.
Yeah.
So that's not that good. This is more something to play in a common...
Very much a tech card.
Yeah, it's either a tech card or again maybe in a Thief Rogue if that were a thing.
Living Monument, 10 mana, 10/10 taunt. No. It's, we've seen stuff like this before. This is just not playable, really. If there's, like, a way to cheat that out somehow, like, recruit any sort of minion from, sure. But in general, this is not going to see constructed play for it just being a 10-drop. That's not strong.
It might be decent-ish in Arena, I don't know.
It could be, but I still don't think so. 8 mana, 5/6, Pit Crocolisk, because it's Better River Crocolisk. Battlecry, deal 5 damage. That's what it's based on, for sure. This seems okay. And if the damage is properly distributed, there's a proper target for it, this can provide value.
Face.
Potentially also face, yeah. Why not?
It is the place after all. Effectively, you're getting, on top of your 5 mana beast, you're getting a 3 mana deal 5 damage. It's totally worth it. The question just is like, what kind of deck do you want to use it in?
Yeah.
It's a bit expensive for an aggro deck. And if you want to use it in a more control-ish idea, then the question is, do you have a worthy target? Comparisons, stuff like Dynomatic, maybe less flexible in the damage distribution. This might work in a mid-range deck as either an aggressive or control-ish option as well.
We'll see, but it seems like a solid card. Wasteland Scorpid. 7 mana, 3/9 with poisonous. Now, comparison is Maexna, I guess.
Yes, and also the flavor text pretty much already explains the issue with the card.
Yeah.
After they get to a certain size, it doesn't matter if they're poisonous or not. And sure, 3 damage isn't that much.
It's not that much. It's not that much. If this were like a 9/3, it would be absolutely terrible, because then poison wouldn't do anything.
But, like, this might as well be a 1/9 for the most part.
But generally what you do with poisonous minions is you just write their attack, you just write as, like, infinite, right?
Yes. Against face, it's
not
like
face,
the one difference.
against minions, of course.
In a control like this might be okay.
We'll see. If this can be cheated out, like Recruited Beast, I don't see it, though. Like, my ex, I didn't see that
Yeah, no,
much,
that's the thing, right? It's probably not worth it, but it could allow some decent trades. Maybe in Arena if there's a lot of strong cards in Arena that would be taken out by it.
This card I like. 6 mana, 5/5 Blatant Decoy, Death Rattle. Each player summons the lowest cost minion from their hand.
The first deck idea that I thought of was the old school Katharina Winterwisp, Big Beast kind of hunter. Because that's what you want, right?
You don't play any low cost stuff.
You want this to be played alongside big things.
Yeah.
It also has Death Rattle synergy. Despite what it looks... Nah, I was gonna say despite what it looks like it's not a mech, but it doesn't really look that much like a mech.
But just for a second, like, we've been talking so much about quality and competitiveness, can we just appreciate when once in a while there's just a genuinely funny card being printed? We had it with Coppertail Imposter in the Boomstay, which is just a robot, like, hiding amongst unsuspecting squirrels. This is just a funny card from the flavor. It's fantastic. It's a bunch of kobolds built this fucking huge statue that's obviously not King Togwaggle. It's fun. I like this. It's great. Sometimes I appreciate it. This is a good candidate for a card that could show up on one of our end cards at one point. I just like doing that.
The thing here is that this actually has some good ideas, though.
Yeah.
It's not that understated for having a Death Rattle with potentially huge upside. This might go in a deck with dual.
I wouldn't hate it if this card ever saw some play, because it's just a really nice card. It's fun.
Again, there is probably some ideas there. I think the class that, again, as I said, that most has support for it right now might actually be Paladin with dual and stuff like that, and also having a lot of decent spells for controlling the early game, especially now also with some of the new ones.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Faceless Lurker, 5 mana, 3/3. With Taunt and Battlecry, double this minion's health, so usually be a 3/6.
But that's not what you want.
That's not what you want. You want to buff it before it gets summoned.
Yeah, obviously hand buff, which is to say that the Taunt hand buffs from Warrior primarily, I think.
Yeah, that's mainly what I was thinking.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else in Standard right now that would help with that as well.
I think we'll get to another card that is at least questionable in that regard, but
so there is ideas here. I don't think it's that strong.
We'll get to there. Let's keep moving on for now. Phalanx Commander, 5 mana, 4/5. Your taunt minions have +2 attack.
Talking about taunt synergies, I don't like it that much, but
it's not that strong.
It's 1 mana understated for potentially up to 12 points of extra attack.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not gonna get it at 12, but it's not bad. It's just
a question, like, does this actually cross the threshold where someone uses a deck slot to include this?
The problem is that this is one of those where it's very counterintuitive to the design, because taunt minions, generally speaking, are defensive.
Yeah.
You're trying to make a more aggressive taunt. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
This is a problem. Again,
they're still good for defense. Obviously, people will have to put more resources into them.
On paper, this is a pretty good card. I just don't think it's gonna see that much play.
No. Body Wrapper, 4 mana, 4/4 Battlecry. Discover a friendly minion that died this game. shuffle it into your deck.
Interesting.
Potential death rattle.
So you're losing 1 point in stats for a beneficial battle cry, which means on paper this is at least not bad. The question is there some kind of combo idea where you want to cheat stuff out like that?
I mean, I generally wouldn't hate a second Shutter Walk, but I think that just takes it too far. Maybe some Undertaker prelate stuff I've seen and then heard ideas about. Not sure how that would fare in that sort of deck.
Because the idea here is clearly, if you want to get something specific in your deck, you might want it for something like I don't know, like Barnes-ish type of idea where you like get all your minions out of your deck first, then you play this to get a specific thing back into your deck, then you cheat it out. It's very specific.
Yeah.
Maybe
you want a very high impact specific minion.
Yeah, and it might be also a value thing to some degree because you can get a minion one more time, and it has ever so slight anti-fatigue in there. But maybe this is the kind of card that you would run instead of Luciana in a Control Warrior. So,
no,
I mean, because
you would run it with Luciana and hope to high roll into another Luciana.
Yeah, I guess. Because the idea here is that you might only need, in certain matchups, only 1 or 2 extra turns of non-fatiguing.
No,
you don't need that much.
No, you really don't.
But yeah.
3 mana, 3/4 history buff. Whenever you play a minion, give a random minion in your hand +1/+1.
Was that the one you were referencing earlier?
No, that's not the one I was referencing.
So yeah. This is an interesting card because hand buffs classically aren't very good, but
it's vanilla minion.
Exactly.
It's a bonus on top of a good
comparison. Stat. The first one that I thought of was Untamed Beastmaster.
Yeah.
In that it's also an epic, as a matter of fact, but it's also like just vanilla stats for an upside that can be pretty good, but maybe won't always be.
It's probably going to be a very good arena card. Very above average arena card.
This might not be entirely uninteresting depending on how you build your quest hunters.
Yeah.
Because if you have something like Halazi in there, you play Halazi.
If it's that summon, this would be insane. But that's why they don't do that, obviously.
Yeah. But, Halazi.
Yeah. And the Lynxes.
And then the turn after you play this and like a million Lynxes.
Yeah. Get some buffs out.
And it's not horrible.
We'll see if people can work it.
Again, there's ideas there. I'm not sure how we'll see play.
Volpura Scoundrel. 3 mana, 2/3 Battlecry. Discover a spell or pick a mystery choice. So, the idea with this one is basically that you get a random spell. You can choose between those 3, or you can pick another random one. Which, just gives you an extra option.
I haven't seen this card. I haven't watched the full reveals. Is the mystery choice the 4th pick, or is it...
I would imagine that it is, yeah.
Or is it one of the 3?
I would imagine that it's the 4th pick. And in this case, it's very slightly better than discovering a spell.
Yes.
It's just another out if all those 3 spells
also,
that you get are bad.
I want to point out one thing, and I haven't seen this in action, but the way it's worded, I would assume that the mystery choice allows you to get a off-class spell as well.
Yeah.
Because it just says random.
I would assume so. If it's completely randomized, then that should be possible.
So there might be some rogue-ish ideas there, but getting a random spell, potentially even from your own class, in a Thief Rogue for 1 mana of stats is not... No. This is an okay card, I think. It can be an out here and there.
Maybe again, looking into Arena might be fine. Quicksand Elemental, 2 mana, 3/2. Give all enemy minions -2 attack this turn. This seems like a very much an Arena card.
Vanilla stats, and it allows for really good trades on that turn.
Nothing too spectacular, but a decent impact on a good card.
Yeah, I mean, this might be like a tempo mid-range kind of idea where you get a lot of good trades out of one turn.
Some good trades.
And again, you're not losing any tempo by just playing it on 2 if you really need to.
Yep.
Also, I'm gonna keep pointing this out as an elemental.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
2 mana, 2/1 Cobalt Sand Trooper. I like this one. Death Rattle, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. It's okay.
I mean, comparison Leper-Gnome, I guess.
Yeah. It's okay. If you can prick a bunch of Death Rattles, this might be fine, but
then again, is there like an Undertaker thing? I don't see it in the, distance.
This is the kind of card that would not be horrible in with something like Feign Death.
Yeah.
Where you have like trigger all your death rattles, because then going wide with smaller death rattles makes more sense.
Yeah.
But nothing like this exists in standard right now, so I don't really see it.
2 mana, 2/4 Spitting Camel. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to another random friendly minion. Best obviously if there's no friendly minion on the board.
Yes.
You got a slight stat increase. Other than that, it's probably not that good.
This or maybe some warrior ideas with whenever this takes damage, if this is damage kind of ideas.
I mean, this is better than unpowered Mauler, but still doesn't seem particularly strong.
Yeah, no, this is mediocre, okay in arena maybe, I don't know.
2 mana, Dwarven Archaeologist, 2/3. After you discover a card, reduce its cost by 1. Vanilla stats. Obviously, very, very fringe specific effect. You gotta bring this out, then play something to discover a card. I don't really see any decks doing that specifically, because I mean, there's no thing as like a discover deck, a deck that derives its main idea from discovering. Some decks just do that, but to me, there's no justification to playing discover support.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is decently statted, which means there's no downside to running it, but when you're constructing a deck in Constructed, you have enough deck slots that you could fill with other stuff that you don't really ever want to run this, which means that this is a perfectly good arena card.
Yeah, seems fine.
Everything that isn't understated is automatically good arena card.
Exactly, it's better than Acropolis, because it just improves from
and it. Especially with the arena rotation that we have right now, I think there's a decent amount of discovers in there.
6 mana, 6/5 for the warrior. Armored Goon. Whenever your hero attacks, gain 5 armor. Now this works, quest. And maybe Soul Thrust, gain a bunch of armor in 1. But this does have a value option. Better Boulder First Ogre.
Yeah.
It's correct deck.
He's also literally an ogre.
Yeah. Oh, he is. Okay, fair enough. Again, arena. Seems like a decent card.
Yeah, maybe if there at some point becomes a quest warrior, maybe this is used, but right now, not.
0 mana, Shaman Spell, Totemic Surge, give your totems +2 attack, as opposed to, there's also one that gives your totems +2 health, which you can now play both back to back for +2/+2 on other totems for 0 mana.
Yes, but I think that this is actually pretty decent. We got a lot of totem summoning support.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of totems you can just play if you really want to. We got Amalgam. We've got Henchclan Hag.
Yeah.
We got actual totems.
Totems now.
Mana Tide.
Yeah, totems now are like a pushover as much as they used to be anymore, where you can basically ignore if your opponent summon like 5-6 totems, because you kind of have to have this on mind. It's at least something.
Yeah, and with Splitting Axis can have some really good high rolls.
Yeah. Naga Sandwich. This card is really, really cool. Okay, so this is obviously based on Naga Sea Witch.
Yes, that's very obvious.
But they also got the sandwich pun in there, which I quite like. Yes. So 5 mana, 5/5 for the mage. Battlecry, change the cost of spells in your hand to 5. As opposed to
spell mage?
Maybe.
Theoretically, this does have very fringe use as well with Ferris in a tempo mage-ish idea, like the mana.
I assume the absolute the idea for the absolute high roll of this is like Glyph of Warding sort of things. The arena the run treasure, where all cards that cost 5 or more cost now 5. For spells, particularly this one. It sticks too, so it's not a passive effect after the thing dies, which is something to point out. Here's the problem, right? This is still going to be used in tempo. This Pyroblast is just better than Pyroblast.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
I don't think that the tempo deck is going to run this though, because tempo deck is going to have a lot of smaller spells. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but that's still, though, this Fireball, we'll see. But this is a very fundamental issue, by the way, with the mage class, with how powerful the basic spells and spell support is. That
but I don't think there's
everything will be abused.
Enough expensive spells that would be used in tempo to justify including this card.
We'll see.
I do think that in a big spell mage type of idea, this would be more useful, but I'm not sure if that's going to come together.
I like the sandwich pun. That's all I wanted to say. Hyena Alpha, 4 mana, 3/3 Battlecry for the Hunter. If you control a secret, summon 2/2 hyenas. This is very good. Now, here's the thing. When I first read this card, What came to my mind is, wait a second, is it scavenging hyenas? And it's not.
No, it's regular
because
hyenas.
that would have been madness. But still, this though is pretty good.
Why would you think of scavenging hyena after something like what's his name? Savannah Hyman exists.
Man, I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
I do want to point out, however, that they do have new arts for these tokens as compared to the hyena ones.
Yeah, they do that too. They do it for wisps and scarabs every single time. So I appreciate that.
Not every single time, but often.
Yeah, also 4 mana 7/7. Can't hate it.
Yes. Again, if you run secrets, there's no reason not to run
really
this.
good card.
Otherwise,
3 mana 4/3 for the hunter. Also, Ramakeen Wild Tamer. Battlecry, copy a random beast in your hand.
Vanilla stats, beneficial battle cry, but also not that beneficial.
Not groundbreaking. Yeah.
Good arena card. Maybe in specific decks in standard, but not like a necessary include in anything.
4 mana 2/3 Garden Gnome for the Druid. Battlecry, if you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, summon 2 treants. This is kind of the worst version of the hyena we just saw, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it literally...
It's not that good.
The condition is slightly easier to fulfill, but it's also losing 1 point in stats. It does.
Is this easier to fulfill than having a secret? For a hunter?
Well, the secret can be procced, so you would have to play it on the same turn to be really reliable.
Or you just play like a rat trap or something that's not going to be procced on turn 2.
I think generally speaking, in a fitting deck, this is easier to proc. I don't see the deck though.
No. It's also, the payoff is also not that.
It summons treants. We actually do have new treants this time around as well.
Or bamboo treants.
I don't think this is good.
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem that.
But it does have a nice pun.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's a garden gnome, but it's not a gnome that's just put in a garden. It's a gardener that's also a gnome. That's the last card.
That's the last card. So that was a lot of cards, man. Final thoughts. Yeah, final thoughts on the expansion in general. First of all, Tuesday night is the big launch. We're gonna have a huge pack opening featuring how many packs? Around 80 maybe? How many we're getting? Like a lot of packs. I'm getting close to like 50 just from gold. And whatever free stuff we get.
Around 80 seems about right.
Gonna be a lot of packs being opened, a lot of legendaries.
I think we're gonna also release 1 or 2 theory crafted deck lists in the lead up to that.
Yeah.
And then of course we're gonna play the game once the expansion drops. I think none of this is very groundbreaking.
Yeah, no surprise. We're gonna do some deck ideation, but we're really gonna hit it, man. We're excited for this. The slump, the month before an expansion drops is real, and every time a new expansion drops, we can just feel the energy. Like, you're in our Discord server, people are going crazy now. We're hyped for this. Like, new Hearthstone expansion is great every time, and it's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to this national holiday 3 times a year. Thank you for watching this video. Go join our Discord server, by the way. Link is in the description. Free for everyone, and it's fun. We have a great community of over 100 people at this point to talk Hearthstone, get better together. Fantastic place to be. And subscribe to TrashcanTV because it's about to go down on this channel. With the new expansion, we're going to have so much stuff to cover. We're doing the big leagues, man. We're pulling out the guns now because we have time, and we really are. Yeah, don't. You should not have done that. And it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a really good one. So drop a like, subscribe, join the hype train. I need to cut my hair at some point, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. JJ.
That's it.
That's it.